Alright guys, what's going on? How you doing, G Money? How you doing, Gravish? Thank you, G Money. Yeah, man, it's way easier playing futures. There's no premium burn. It's much easier in this environment, especially. We'll go over a bunch of macro stuff here. Obviously, you guys, I know most of the people that comment in here, most of the people that are active in the group have read the newsletter. They knew what I was expecting this week. I was not expecting it straight in a line, straight up. I was expecting some pullback in between. But we got an absolute ripper today. What's up, Ricky? The Bank of Canada helped out by the Fed only raised by 50 basis points instead of 75. As you know, Canada does not matter at all to the stock market. It's like basically US's, it's not even US's little sister. I'd say it's US's like distant third sister. No one really gives a shit about Canada. But the thing is, last time they raised 100 points when 75 was expected. This time they raised 50 when 75 was expected. So overall, it's just what was expected. They made some good comments saying that they have seen the economy slowed, so what they're doing is working. But if you look at the underlying, it's not really working at all. Anyways, macro is for another time. It's going to take me 4 hours on here if I start talking about macro. It's not in a good place. I don't care what anyone says. Microsoft, Google earnings, read through those transcripts. Those are two of the biggest companies in the world, and they are waving red flags yesterday. Other than that, we have Meta today. We'll go over the chart. We'll see what it does right after. But let's go into SPY here. We have so this basically is the purple line is the 20-day moving average, which you guys seen that whole downtrend. I already went over that. I'm not going to do that again. The red line is the 100-day moving average, and the yellow line is the 50-day moving average. So the yellow crosses under the 100. That's usually bearish. What do you usually get first is a little bit of pop before the real drop. How do I know that? Because I've been trading this year and we've been spot freaking on. So here we have it right here, guys. You see the yellow line crossing underneath the red line, 50 crossing under the 100. First thing you get is a little rally, then you get the downturn. Then in March, we actually got a big rally. So let's see if we get the same, it's almost the exact same setup right now. We will see, I'm playing for this pullback right now. So you guys see how it crossed underneath, we went on that rally and then we got a big pullback, almost a double bottom. If we get that same setup right now, we will go back down and test around 363 on SPY, which is what I'm thinking, maybe a little bit higher, maybe 379, maybe 375, somewhere around there on SPY. A little pullback, and then I do think we go higher before making the ultimate low of the year. What's up, Guggen? How you doing, Andrew? Good to hear you. And yeah, it's just been super busy, guys. That's why I haven't been doing as many post markets. I'm trying, but it is what it is. Life is busy. So let's see if we get that pullback. If you look at the daily candle we got today on SPY, that's a clear rejection off the 50-day moving average. That's a very, very unbullish candle, very bearish. As a matter of fact, that means no one wanted, everyone took profits at the top, and the 50-day moving average will not be easy to cross. I took some IWM puts today. You guys see this doji right at the top? That is about one of the most bearish candles you can see on IWM. I'm sorry, there's a lot of stuff on here. That's another reason why I don't do post market as much. I just have a bunch of drawings on here. I don't want to get rid of them right away. So the reason I took IWM as well is the 50-day crossed below the 100-day moving average as well. We have the 100-day moving average at 179.05. We closed exactly at 179.05. So tomorrow, if we do start the pullback, do not be surprised. I am in 170 puts for next week, which I took today. I have a little alert here. I am expecting a pullback to 175, 175.20. As you guys hear, it's a fib from the recent low to the recent high. And other than that, I do expect some pullback before ultimately going higher. What I think is happening right now is this big thing that happened today. Let me show you guys. So we had that huge rip in the morning. We've been ripping for days, blah, 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 whatever, right? So what I think is happening right now is retail is jumping into stocks. Why is retail jumping into stocks? They're saying, oh, capitulation happened on CPI day. There's huge volume. Everyone's jumping back in. They're just chasing it all the way up. And then today, finally, they got boomed. When it pulls back more, retail will sell what they just bought. They will go short. Once they go short, then the market will rip up to a higher high. Obviously I could be wrong. This is just how I see it completely. And let's see what happens. Right now I'm expecting a small pullback to a higher high. Like I said in the earnings newsletter, you guys, premium members have access to that. Can go into that one and take a look and decide for yourself what you think. Here's VIX. So while the other indexes have the 50 crossing below the 100, VIX has the 50 that crossed above the 100. So right away when it first crosses, bearish reaction just as expected. And now after a while, we are due for a pop here. We have stochastics getting overdone. We have the 4-hour chart very oversold. If you go back on the chart, 4-hour chart, 4-hour, whenever it gets this oversold, usually we get a big pop. So we got a big pop there. Where else we get near oversold? Right here, 4-hour near oversold, big gap up the next day. 4-hour near oversold, big gap up the next day. 4-hour oversold on VIX, big gap up the next day. So it happens a lot. I'm not saying we're just gonna rip and go straight to all-time highs. I'm just expecting a pullback. Remember that, guys. So I'm expecting a pullback on or a bounce on VIX and a pullback in the market. Other than that, JPM is right at my main next main resistance. If it loses now, I'm not gonna front run banks because I've told you guys the puts don't pay me that well. I don't know why. The tech has always paid me much better. It's just the puts move better, or else I picked the wrong strike or something. But I'm just way more comfortable in tech puts. Other than this, we have, if we go back below 123.71, JPM is an easy short for me. Here's Meta. KB's going crazy in the comments. Didn't even say hello. He's so excited about the Meta pop. Meta went all the way up to 142.60, and then the piece of shit is right back down to 133. So all the calls that people took on earnings, all the puts people took on earnings will all be zero tomorrow. This is why I don't play earnings. This is why I tell my members not to play earnings, because there's literally no point. Other than that, market's not looking good. Google gap down yesterday, stayed down today. Very, very poor earnings. Microsoft, these companies are like 16-17% of QQQ and SPY. Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. And if these, like, I mean, come on, guys. What I tell you about Meta, it's a piece of shit. I'm telling you, stop going long. That's the 4th time I've seen people take calls on Meta on earnings. Stop it. Anyways, here's Amazon also getting hit by it. We got Amazon earnings, I believe, Thursday, which is tomorrow. We also have Apple tomorrow. So that'll dictate the short term of the market. I don't believe any of these earnings will be good, especially tech earnings. And other than that, I expect a little pullback here. Get everyone nice and bearish. Get everyone shaken out of their longs. And after that, we shall see my second target hits or not on SPX. My second target, oh my god, it's at 120. Like, man, I'm sorry I yelled and stuff, but I see people going long on Meta on every single earnings. Meta calls, Meta calls. I don't see the harm in saying it's always the same story and they always disappoint. Just stop it. Leave it to die. Other than that, let's see how my scenario lines up for the premium members. I'll go over a couple more charts in the morning that I want to go over in private. Other than that, have a good night, guys, and stop gambling on earnings, man. It's so easy. The market's easy. Just stop gambling.